What's up, guys? We're getting started drinking our smoothie. If you don't own one of these, it's a Yeti. It's amazing. Honestly, you just put your breakfast in there, especially if you like smoothies. Keeps it cold. One of the best inventions, and I actually stumbled upon it by accident. They actually gave it out to me as a promo for some show that I went to go see. Okay, so what's going on today? Basically, I want to talk to you guys because the mortgage industry is having a tough time. And so you might, if you're in that industry right now, I mean, kind of went from hero to zero. I mean, we were doing really well last year and rates were low, originating a ton of mortgages. And if you do the math, sorry, speed bump. If you do the math, basically 70% of our business is refinances. So if you're a lender in general, speed bump, 70% of your business is refis, right? I mean, you know, it could be 50%, but it's definitely like a big chunk of your business. So now when rates have gone, you know, a lot higher than they were last year, I'm not gonna say super high, because right now in September 2022, depending on when you're watching this, and we're hovering, like, you know, hovering around 6%, like on, you know, tax return loans. And so that's not like crazy, but it's super high considering last year we were somewhere around the 3s. So now, obviously, a lot of our pipelines have dried up because, you know, if 70% of your business is refis and there are no refis, and then, you know, 30% of your business is people wanting to buy, but now it's projected that over the next year or so, I would assume, and I think a lot of people agree with me, that, you know, home prices are likely going to be dropping, in my opinion, 10 to 20%, because last year, you know, the homes appreciated like 20%. So, you know, if you're left with 30% of people wanting to buy, and now that same 30% is down to maybe a third. So think about it. You went from having 100% clients to basically 10%, right? Because 70% will refis, that's gone. You're left with 30%, and maybe only like a third of those people are even considering buying anything. So basically, if you're thinking about getting into lending right now, it's a tough spot. It's a great career, like I told you guys before, long term. So I imagine that once they put a cap on inflation, which in my opinion could take a year or two, just my opinion, before, you know, you're gonna start seeing deal flow again. So in the meantime, we're trying to figure it out. So to be continued, guys, to be continued. All right, guys, so we're gonna go visit Ellie at what I call Facebook, because it looks like Facebook, and they're trying to raise some money for a multi-family building that they're trying to put under contract for $41 million. So basically, they're trying to get, it's called the debt and equity. So when you're trying to buy a building, I mean, okay, as an example, see this building behind me right now? If you're gonna try to buy something like this, you're gonna probably be somewhere around, you know, $40–50 million. So there's two pieces to this puzzle. One of them is called debt, and the other one is called equity. Debt is what you get from the bank, but the bank is only gonna give you, say, about 70%, right? So you have to come up with 30%. That's called equity. So we're gonna go have a discussion about how we can raise X amount of equity so he can have the building, not this particular one, but the one they're trying to buy, which is multifamily, under contract. Stay tuned. All right, guys, on our way to Facebook. Let's go get them. We got one of the general partners. It's called the GP of Blue Ocean Equities. It's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. Just wanted to share it with you guys. We'll dive in a minute. It's right there.
Let's see what we can do.
Guys, while we're waiting, let's take a little tour of this beautiful office here. So basically, you have companies that that go and they buy different properties around the United States, and what they do is they reposition these assets. And so this is actually how a lot of people make a significant amount of money. You know, people like Green Cardones of the world, where they actually buy assets, and they there's two ways of doing this. They either buy multifamily assets and they reposition them. So basically they go in, they do some rehab, and then they up the rents. Or what they do is they buy buildings that are zoned for multifamily or hospitality that might be dilapidated or just used for other things, right? And then they reposition them again using what we call bridge funds. So bridge funds is like hard money. It's like private money, okay? But it's used basically to take a property from stage A to stage B, right? Where you're acquiring it and it needs a ton of work, and then you're doing the work by using because a lot of these deals, they don't actually qualify for institutional financing, which is basically takeout financing or, end of the road type financing, like with the best terms, because they have some things going on in them that need to first be handled. And so anyways, in a nutshell, that's a summary of what these guys are trying to do here, which is what we talked about earlier, trying to do an acquisition. But before you do the acquisition, you need some deep pockets. And for that, it's called equities. You have to raise money. So that's what this conversation is all about. Okay guys, what's up? We're sitting here with the Grandmaster himself, the general partner of Blue Ocean Equities, right?
That's right.
That's right. All right, so let me just give you an overview of what a pitch looks like, right? So if you're the Grant Cardones of the world and you're looking to do these kind of building takedowns where they involve equity and debt, this is basically a live deal right now. It's in escrow, and I actually came here to discuss it with Eli, so I thought this would be a great opportunity for you guys to kind of just get an idea of what these deals look like. Tell me about this $40 million building. I want to know all about
41,
41.
Don't lose 1 million somewhere.
40, 41. It's basically the same thing at that point.
Right. When you could buy a property that has a $500 gap per door, you multiply that by 300.
How many doors?
300.
So 300, you're saying right now the market is $500 below every single door?
Correct.
And there's 300
doors.
300 doors.
Correct. So you go 5. So the idea here is you're buying a fixer-upper. You're going into these units. You're doing all these upgrades in these units, and you're spending $25,000 a unit.
Okay.
And now you could achieve the higher rents because now you're bringing it from like a C-class building to a B-class. You put in all the amenities, all the bells and whistles, the clubhouses.
So give me an idea. How much are you buying it for?
So the idea here, back of a napkin here.
Okay.
We're under contract at $137,000 a door, so it's 41 million.
41 million.
We're going to spend, call it about $25,000 a door, so that works out to what the budget's somewhere around $7-8 million bucks in renovation.
Okay, got it.
So let's say you're at 48, 49. Call it an even 50.
Okay, 50 million.
It'll take you about 24 to 30 months to stabilize this thing, because you turn like 10, 12, 15 units a month.
Okay.
And over time, you could do that. And so,
when you're upping the rent by 500 after you do these renovations, what do you think the building is going to be worth, say 3 years down the road? Because that's about how long it's going to take.
So what we're going to do is, let's say we're in it for 50.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting on the deal 2.5 years from now. The projections are going to be somewhere around 72 to 75 million.
So you're telling me that in 3 years you're going to up the building $25 million?
Correct, somewhere 22 to 25 million, somewhere around there. So the idea is to have a recap event where we return all the capital back to investors. So we're going to be in the deal at 50. We need 12 million funds to close. And so all the investors are getting their money back. We're going to have no skin in the game and sit on, and then we just created $25 million worth of wealth here for the entire team. And so, and then you're just getting free cash flow. You're getting mailbox money coming in every single month.
Wow.
And of the 12 million, on the general partner side, the GP, we're coughing up 2 million, and we're trying to raise 10 million. So minimum buy-in to the table is going to be $500,000 for a deal like this.
Got it.
And so we can raise, whatever, 10, 15, 20 investors are going to be in this thing. Unless you know somebody can stroke a $10 million check.
I mean, if if this goes on YouTube and any of Grant Cardone's buddies are watching, I mean, we need you to write us a check, and in 3 years from now you can be upside about $25 million. So that's it. It's a pretty good deal. I really like it. Can you tell me one last thing? When you're going into a deal like this with 12 million bucks, I'm just gonna call it an even 50. So say you're getting $38 million of bridge financing. Yes. Right. So that's bridge is the same as hard money. It's the same as private money. It's basically all the same. So $38 million private money and $12 million private investors. So debt is what they're getting for private money or hard money. Equity is the $12 million that they need to put the deal together. Your group is putting in $2 million.
Correct. Skin in the game.
Skin in the game to show good faith. They need an extra $10 million. So if you know anyone and you want to see a track record from Blue Ocean Equities, might be something worth looking into. Eli, good job. Proud of you. I really hope this thing pans out.
So Zevi, are you going to put money in the fund or what?
Guys, are we doing this? Are we putting money in the fund? I don't know, but you know what? Listen, I'm excited to to have friends like Eli, and you see, there's a lot of opportunity out there, other but the typical 9 to 5, which kind of all of us are guilty of wanting to stay busy. But you could see, if a firm like this can turn around a property of that size and potentially have an upside of $25 million, I can only imagine the kind of a payday, which I know a lot of these things are kind of like buy and hold because they cash flow, which means that, again, I'm going to mention Grant Cardone, just like the concept where you get cash flow or residual income for basically the rest of your life, or as long as you hold on to these properties. If you have any questions about this for me or for Mr. Eli over here, just drop them in the comments below. As always, if you didn't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you like these videos, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.